So the first thing we're going to use is ABS plastic. This is 1/8 inch thick and it is an 8x12 sheet. It comes in a package of 2. The second thing you're going to need is a white navigation light. One reason I picked this one is it actually has an O-ring gasket in there to make this clear housing waterproof. So the only thing we're going to have to waterproof is down here. And that brings me to the third item you're going to need, and that is some epoxy glue, or you can use silicone caulking if you have any of that around the house. It doesn't matter, it just needs to fill the hole so water cannot get into this housing, because this inside is not a sealed LED bulb. If you do any kind of boating, any kind of projects in your garage, you're going to have 99% of these tools. Hopefully you don't have to go out and buy anything, but if you do, that's going to be an added cost of the project. The light we're kind of imitating sells online for $120. I'm not going to name the product. But if you go under Google and you type in navigation light for Raptor, a few different ones will pop up, and one of them is going to be a black, sleek looking light for your Raptor. It's very nice, but it's $120. And yes, it's roto molded and everything else, but we're going to make something that's just as good. Okay, so I'm going to be putting this on the screen here in full size in just a minute. This is the plan of what we're going to be cutting out. One thing I didn't mention, 1/8 inch drill bit and a 1.5 inch hole saw. Okay, and you should probably have hole saw kits around. If not, you can buy literally just the bit for $6-7 on Amazon. I'm going to have the textured side facing out, so I'm going to make all my marks on this smooth side. First thing we're going to do is we're going to find the center of this board. The silver marker is not behaving itself. So, right now, that's what we have. Now here's where the compass comes in. And I'm going to make it 2.5. Now this compass is really well. You see how those sharp points are on there? That will scribe and mark this material. Okay, and when it hits both places, you know you've got the curve. Okay, I'm going to flip it over. I'm just going to do the other side here. So it's right there. And I hit that first time. Okay, so you can see the scribe marks I just made in there. Okay, so whenever you're using a compass, you know, put one point on, your end will be here. See if it hits here, you know, just move, don't scribe it, just move the point, touch there. If you're off, keep adjusting this one until the point hits both of them, and then you know you're in the center and make your curve. We're gonna just drill out the 2 holes, and then we're gonna do the cutting. When you're doing the drilling of the holes, get yourself a board, because you don't want to drill through the table you're in. Okay, again, this is a 1.5 inch hole saw. Flip it around, same thing on this side. You're going to have some plastic shavings here that are real hard because some of it burnt or melted when you did that. It does not have to be perfect, okay? Let's say you did really mess up and you're further over. Just extend this line a little bit, make a new line so you have a 1/4 inch as long as it's straight, okay? As you can see, my marks are not really good. That's a 1/4 inch. Over here is not, but the holes are drilled pretty much in the same spot. Again, this is not a molded project. This is a handmade project. Nobody expects anything to be 100% perfect. And when it's bent and up on your pole, nobody's going to see one side to the other side at the same time. But it is very important, and I'll stress it again, you need at least a minimum of a 1/4 inch between here and here. Okay, once you got those scored, just grab your lineman's plier, put your plier right on the line, and that's why I really like these, because they're flat at the front. Put it right on the line, bend it and break it. Same thing with this one, start at the small side. You can wiggle it a little bit. So it kind of already snaps it. Now I'm going to cut out the 2 circles. And for this, just keep your finger like this and slowly, you don't press a lot. Just let the blade make a little mark. And then press it again a little harder the second time. Okay? And then for this, just hold it, bend it, work it a little bit. Okay, and then you should have that. There we go. That looks a little more symmetrical. Okay, we are going to put that aside for a second. So there's one little rivet holding it together right here. We're just going to drill that out, and then we'll slide this off and the wires will come right through. All right. There is a rubber gasket, but I don't think it's waterproof. So this is 30-minute epoxy. If I were you, I would get 5-minute epoxy. Obviously, it clears in the 6th of the time. This tube does come with 2 mixing things, so it can be reused. You don't have to use it all at once. Okay, that should be just fine. While that's drying, we are going to go up and put this in place and bend it. For up there, you're going to need a pair of gloves, obviously your plastic, and a heat gun. That's it. I'm going to install mine while it's up. You can lower these. I didn't feel like taking the boat out of the garage. You want to clean it off. I've got some Windex here. You only need to do the top half, top 4 or 5 inches. So for installation, it really doesn't matter what side you're going to put it on, but for convenience and wiring, I would suggest putting it on the side of where your standard light socket is in your boat. I am literally standing almost on top of my light socket, so I'm going to be putting this on the starboard side, the right side. Take off your clear plastic if you left it on. We are going to put it the nice side out, okay? So the shiny side in, and you're going to take this and put it, that hole should fit perfect right over there. And you should be about 1/4 of an inch above your R for the Raptor. This is designed so it's kind of straight and flush with this. At that point, we're going to start bending. And once it's bent, you pull this down. And you will have a little overhang here. You want the bottom resting on the frame itself. Okay, once that's cool a little bit, take it off. We're going to slide it down, and we're going to use the rest down here where there is no lettering or anything to damage. We're going to use that to shape the top. While it's still hot, you can bring it up, put it back on the pins, and kind of squish it and form it. My bottom is not totally even, and you're going to have marks in there from where you're holding it with your hand because it's real soft. But I am going to bend this side just a little bit more and try to match it up. it's going to be good enough to sit up here and do the job. So that's sitting up there like that. The next step is to insert the light, and we're going to have to heat up this top part and fold this in. Also, you can take it off and squeeze it together just a little bit because you actually want it a little smaller than this. So when we go to put it on, we're just going to stretch it out. And when you look through, the holes should be pretty lined up, which they are. They're actually, everything's very nice. This is all hand bending plastic, so this isn't machinery, but it's a darn good job. And but we do want this a little bit smaller so it stretches on there, because it's going to be, this is going to hold it on along with double sticky back tape. That's going to be perfect. Okay, so I just crunched it down a little bit, and you can see right here it does not slide on. You have to push it on. So I'm going to let this cool a little bit more, and then we can just click it on. The last part, we'll be bending it in place up there so we don't mess with the bend down here, because we're going to have two separate bends. This is going to be a small circle, and this will be the larger oval. And now it's really going to click into place. Okay, grab your light. And we are just going to heat this top section just right here. And then you don't have to hold the light there right now. We're going to heat the top section. Once it's hot enough, we're going to put the light, and we're going to bend just the top section around the light. Okay, keeping the light pushed to the front, we're just going to bend. And we're going to bend and hold. And if it's a little smaller, that's fine. It'll be nice when it clicks in. It takes about a minute or so to really cool down. You can blow on it, it helps a little bit. I have a little teeny point. I'm just going to trim off. Okay, so we have our finished piece, and it came out really good. The light fits in there perfect. Now this is going to be held with double sticky back tape. That's how the light's going to be held in. And we're going to go and we're going to wire this right now. So for your boat, cut the appropriate amount of wire. I'm going to give about 10, 11 feet of wire here. I am going to use bare crimp connectors. So these are bare crimp connectors, okay? It's basically a butt connector, but without the insulation on it. And the metal is thicker. You're also, if you're going to use these, instead of using your standard crimp section of your pliers, which is the top here, you're going to use this point. So that point right there. Give it a couple of turns. Grab your connector. Put it on. And give it a good crimp. So for bare wire connectors, we are also going to use heat shrink tubing. Slide it on. And make sure you got the right wire, negative. This is already pre-tinned, which is good. Just stick it in there. And give it a crimp. And then you're gonna eyeball it about halfway. I can feel the connector and it's halfway. And now we're just gonna heat shrink it. This is a 3-to-1 heat shrink tubing, and it does have glue inside. So these are marine grade. Okay, and then we're just gonna do the other side. Okay, so I just took some tape and I made 3 little wraps just to keep the wire together. The rest of it is already fused together, and we're good with that. Now, last thing we need to do to get this assembled is the double sticky back tape, and of course, wire it. I am going to mount it to show you, but I'm not going to mount it or wire it to my system. I'll probably put it on a battery. Now, all I had in my garage was 1-inch wide tape. Okay, that's like kind of an overkill. 1/2-inch wide is perfect. So if you have 1/2-inch wide tape, use that. I'm going to use 1-inch wide. So on this, I'm going to put a strip right here and right here on the inside. Okay. I cut myself a 4-inch strip so that there's 2 inches in here, and I have a 2-inch tab. What I'm going to do is I'm going to peel this from here to here. So I peeled the back, I peeled this back, and then I just cut this piece off. So now I have a little pull tab. So now once I click this on, I can grab this tab and pull it, and then it'll sit right in place. And then in the very back, I'm going to do the same, just one little strip right back here. And I can just pull that bottom tag right there. The back will come apart. On the side, I can just peel up on the side, that'll stick. And I didn't realize this until now. There is also a clear, and that's funny because I did not see it or notice it when I was making it. Now I have to take this off. I'm glad I caught this. This is an oopsie by me. So now that I got nice clean plastic on the bottom with no film, let's put our double sticky back tape back on. Now I put a piece around the top, and that's going to hold the light in. So that's how it's going to sit. And that's the finished product. Now let's light it up. Okay, so first we're going to mount the Raptor. Make sure all your tags are sticking down. You're going to push it real like that, tight. Pull the tape, stick, pull the tape, stick, done. Then you'll take your wire. Now this can be done, you're going to have to do this with the Raptor down. Feed the wire through, make sure it's on this side of the Raptor behind the pistons. Get yourself a 4-inch piece of double sticky back tape that you used right here and press the wires, clean the inside, press the wire against this side right here, make sure it's behind the pistons and any moving parts in there. Do that all the way down. 3 to 5 pieces of tape should suffice. And we're done. So here you have it, your own Minn Kota Raptor nav light. Looks good, it's custom made. Okay, it's not perfect, but from 10 feet away, it looks gorgeous. All right, I am not a master plastic bender, so if I can do this, anybody can do this. And if you're real good at bending plastics, hey, you can even do a better job than me. You'll save yourself a ton of money, especially if you have the tape and a lot of the tools already on hand. If you have all that, this whole setup was $14 and $11. So you're looking at $27, $28, maybe $30 for something they sell online for $120. And it does the same thing, and I think it looks damn good. Now this is my pattern. If you want to round off the corners in the back or do anything else, hey, once you mold it, you can still cut it even after you bent it. If you want to round something off, I may even, when I take it off on the bench, I may round these corners off, but I probably won't. But you can trim it after you've bent it if you want to change the style of it. If you want to drill holes in it to make it look fancy, drill holes in it, make it your own, make it your project. Hey, thank you very much. Take care, and until next time, tight lines.